3 years ago, Starship launched from Pad 1 at Starbase, Texas, completing the historic flight test of SpaceX's first heavy-lift vehicle. Now, SpaceX will be launching version 2 of Starship. Version 3, sorry, my bad, version 3. Booster 19 and Ship 39 will debut this new version with the newest engine, software, hardware, and much more. In today's flight, there's excitement guaranteed. I'm Cad, the co-founder of ThatSpaceDogeGuy, and we'd like to thank you for joining us for today's coverage of Starship Flight 12. The vehicle is currently standing tall on the pad, and we're expecting propellant load to start at T-minus 37 minutes before launch. Ship 39 and Booster 19 will be the first version 3 Starship to launch from this pad at Pad 2. This new pad consists of a new flame trench, more powerful deluge, and new OLM. This is a big upgrade from OLM 1 on Pad 1. As we wait for launch, we'll go ahead and take a little break here for commentary. We'll be back. We'll take a little short break here, and we will be back with some more updates. So, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us for today's TSDG coverage. Beautiful cameras here. I'd like to thank the entire TSDG team at Starbase for giving these beautiful live cameras. We'd also like to thank Aiden here. He's currently behind the scenes. He can't talk right now. He's currently managing the stream right now. He can't really, it's a little late for him right now in his time zone, but thank you to everyone for supporting as we are currently counting down to Starship's 12th flight test in just 58 minutes and 58 and a half minutes to go. We got some beautiful cameras here. We got some up-close cameras finally. And yeah, like I said, we're looking good here for launch. And I said, thank you to the entire TSDG team at Starbase for giving me these beautiful live views as we're waiting for launch. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We would absolutely love to answer them as we're counting down towards launch. The plan right now is currently 85% go with weather at this time, per SpaceX. Countdown looks like to have not been updated. We're hoping that doesn't get updated. Don't want to. We're currently 57 minutes to go. Everything's still looking good. Now, if you were here yesterday during the TSDG stream, you may have saw that they did have to stand down from yesterday's launch attempt due to a host of reasons. The one that really made stand down was a hydraulic pin in the SQD, but that seems to have been fixed, and hopefully today is going to be an even better launch attempt. And right now, just hoping right now. He's going behind the scenes. He's just hoping, he's praying that it goes well. He's just hoping because he doesn't want to stay up again. Now, for me, I'm in the United States, so I'm fine. So yeah, but Aiden, no. Yeah. Now we wait for launch. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We would love to answer them. And if we do get any updates from anyone at SpaceX or from officially SpaceX, we actually got an update here. The SpaceX team is go for propellant load. We have an update here that they are go for prop load. So excellent news we want to hear. They are go for prop load. And there's that tower vent as we were talking about. Yeah, there's a tower vent by our team. Thank you to, like I said, everyone at the team at TSDG Starbase for giving me these views. Look at that. There's a tower vent. So we're go for prop load officially. SpaceX confirms that on X that they are go for propellant load. So we're looking good for an on-time lift. They're looking good for an on-time lift up at the start of the window. That is excellent news. Which was the arm that got stuck yesterday? It was the ship quick disconnect arm. It is basically the arm that fuels the ship. You can see it actually there on your screen. It's a little black line. It's in the middle there that fuels the ship up for launch. Yeah, and that retracts for launch, and they need to release it to ensure it's good to go. And so the hydraulic pin seemed to have failed during that time, as Elon Musk mentioned in his tweet that it did appear to get stuck, leading to a stand down from yesterday's attempt. And they should have hopefully fixed it. Hopefully, they fixed it. That'd be nice. And yeah, so I'm doing good, but. Counting down still, as we said, they are currently go for propellant load. SpaceX confirms that. And yeah. Now, if you were here with us yesterday, you would have known, like I said, they had to push it back by, I believe, an hour during that time due to we don't know what caused that delay. It could have been weather. It could have been just an issue that they're fixing. We don't know. They didn't say that. Yes, the second down from the top there. It's the middle thing that's the ship there. Not the chop. The chopsticks are at the way top, and then yeah, this camera right here shows. See that little arm? That is the chip. That is the quick disconnect. So it's over an hour to go until launch. Everyone's probably excited here. This is a big launch here. Very big launch here. This will be the first flight of SpaceX's version 3 of Starship with the newest engines, which I'm looking very much forward to seeing that launch, seeing those 33 Raptor engines. Good luck, Starship, and good luck, Aiden. Thank you so much, Sophia, for saying that. Yeah, good luck, Starship. Yeah, gonna need all that luck we need. Today's a big day for not just SpaceX team, but for spaceflight in general. Smooth countdown so far, though. That's very nice. Everything looking good. We're over 50 minutes to go. Hope it goes well. Saw the stream yesterday, but fell asleep. Yeah, I know. Time zones sometimes suck. I know. But thank you for saying it goes well. And thank you for tuning the stream yesterday, even though it didn't launch. That was a bummer. And like I said, if we do get any updates from any team members or any updates from SpaceX officially, we will make sure to tell you as soon as we can. Hoping to get another commentary on here. We're waiting on Max here to um hopefully Max will come in here shortly. We don't know if he's gonna be here for today's launch, scheduling and stuff. But if he does, well, I hope he pops in here. Okay. Okay, I got something from Max here. He's gonna be joining us for today's commentary. Max just DM me saying that he's gonna be here. So yay, Max gonna be here. Okay. Very beautiful there. Beautiful shot there by TSDG at Starbase. That's so beautiful. Oh yes. Got another shot, everyone here. New camera. We're getting more and more cameras as we speak, everyone. So look at that. That is just beautiful. You can see the tank farm there just spooling up as we come up here on launch. This is just beautiful. Like I said, thank you so much to the TSDG team at Starbase. This is just incredible views. And it's a way more pretty day for launch. Look at that. So this is, we're getting some beautiful views here from TSDG at Starbase. We got some pad views. This is the first time we're getting pad views from Starbase at TSDG. This is our first time. This is our first time we are getting views from the pad at TSDG, like live on the site. And wonder if we'll can we can ask the question, Aiden, do you think we could possibly keep this camera on during ignition? Let's see what happens. That's gonna be sick. This is some beautiful shots here. Thank you TSDG Starbase for giving us these just. Well, you guys are doing a great job with that. Can't imagine how hard it is. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Aiden's doing a lot of the back channel work, but it's not just Aiden. We got an entire team at Starbase. Not really gonna say their names here. Can't really say them. But the entire TCG team at Starbase is just doing beautiful here. Yeah, just amazing. And I am getting some word that we're possibly gonna get replays during the coast phase. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. We'll get replays during the coast phase, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. Not sure. We're not sure. We're not sure. But if we get replays, we'll show them to you as soon as we can. And as we said, thank you so much to TTG at Starbase for giving us these beautiful cameras as we prepare for launch. Stay tuned, because like I said, we are getting more and more cameras as we speak. We're setting everything up, so I don't know. Aiden's doing his magic here. He is working very hard to ensure you guys get the best views during launch. We wanted to give you guys the best views as possible. Wow. Even more cameras, guys. Even more cameras. We're just getting cameras out of cameras out of cameras. Oh, yeah. This is all the cameras. I think from our team here, we saying it appears that it's all the cameras we got. But look at that. Look at all these cameras here from all the teams here at TSDG Starbase. You can see there's all the tiles all gone. Can we go back to that one? Yeah, you can see all those missing tiles. Those are purposely removed for experimental purposes during today's flight. Like it was removed like weak spots or something. They said they want to learn about this vehicle as much as possible, and so they remove a bunch of tiles with some of them have sensors, some of them are just gone. Some of them just have just a little bit of thermal thing. That's why you see a bunch of white stuff. That's all the white little paint there. That's just like I said, just thermal covering in case, like I said, if a tile does get removed during these supersonic periods, they can survive. So this is like I said, they want to learn as much as they can. So those little white spots on the heat shield, those are totally normal, and that's just for experimental purposes. We're gonna be also here on the SpaceX stream to start here. We don't know when that's gonna happen. I believe well, 30 minutes, but that's around 12 minutes away. Sorry, 11 minutes. And one more thank you, shout out towards the entire TCG team at Starbase. I know I've said that a lot, but just these are just some beautiful views we are getting. And huge shout out to them. Make sure you just say thank you TSDG Starbase for giving me all these views. We cannot thank them enough for all these beautiful views we're getting here. Because this is probably the biggest stream we have done. And like I said, I'm always updating the countdown clock to ensure it's still good and we're good to go still. That's what I'm hearing. I believe also there's a WB-57 out there. I don't you know. I think it actually landed back at at Houston for some reason. I don't know why they didn't keep it out there. Oh, look at that. So, we're while we wait for lunch, I'm going to talk about here the rocket there on the screen. This is a two-stage rocket with Ship 39 Booster 19. Booster 19 will head up to around, I believe, the Kármán line. Not the Kármán line. Around, well, actually, probably Kármán line. And then it will make its way down towards the Gulf, where then it will start a landing burn and splash down. I believe it's going to hover. Don't count me on that. I am not sure. And it will do 13 of our engines and down to 5 and then down to 3 during the final phase of the landing burn. The ship will continue its way up to space, where then it will coast on a upward trajectory, deploy some dummy links, the most dummy links on a Starship, and the last two actually have cameras, I believe, and sensors and stuff. And then it will do Raptor relight demonstration in space to test out the header tank, and then re-enter and do a landing burn in the Indian Ocean around an hour after launch today. Now, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We'd absolutely love to answer them here. And we should also have propellant load on ship. Start. Do you think we could possibly get a view of the tanks? The Starship tank. There we go. So let's see. We should see frost on the LOX tank on ship. I said it happens around 38 minutes before launch, I believe. Should be seeing a prop load on the ship here shortly. We should see a frost line. That'll be at the bottom of the vehicle. Reminder, at the bottom. Oh. Ah. Here's some info here, the Starship variants here. He's got a beautiful list here of the Starship variants. You can go and read through here. There's a bunch of them. There's just a lot of Starship variants. Stretched, not stretched, bada boom. Any bets? What do you mean, Phasey? So we should be seeing visual prop load here shortly. Perfect flight, run, pad fallback. Perfect flight. But I may be wrong. Think the ship's gonna do well, but the booster, I'm not really. Because the ship has roughly around the same design as version 2, just the new engines and stuff, which there's a lot of difference on the engine side. But for booster, it's basically entirely new, but the ship is roughly around like the same. It's basically almost the same. Just some different tweaks here with version 3 Raptor. Is that Frost? No. Waiting to see if, as I said yesterday, I said frost load. It's just a tick. I always say frost load for some reason. And also, it appears, yep, there's frost. Yay, we have frost. We have prop load on the ship. Prop load is now underway, officially confirmed by SpaceX. Propellant load is now underway. Confirmed by the SpaceX team. So we're looking good here for a launch. Frost load, Cadsworth. Of course, bro. It's not frost load, it's prop load. That's just, I'm weird. Ha 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 ha. Very funny, Aiden. Aiden is our, if you just wondering, he is our background guy. He's doing the stream. Venting. Yes, venting. Nice to actually start the stream here shortly. I'm just very excited here, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and probably, if you have any questions, reminder, I know I said it's a lot, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We will answer them as soon as we can. And if we do get any updates from SpaceX, we'll also give them to you as soon as we can. Is there visual frost? I don't really see any. I thought I did see it. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, wow, that's fast. That's fast. That's a fast prop load right there. Anyways, I will be right back, and then we're gonna pop comment here real quick. I am back. Apparently, SpaceX is live. Yes, they are.
Alright, all operators on the countdown 1. Flight directors go for launch.
Oh. Go for launch, you joined just in time.
Hello.
SpaceX stream started. Oh wow, that's fast prop load.
Hello once again, Star people, and welcome back to Starbase, Texas. It's currently 5:01 p.m. Central Time, and we are just 28 and a half minutes away from the first flight of SpaceX's next generation vehicle, Starship version 3. Yesterday's launch attempt was scrubbed due to a hydraulic pin on the pad tower that wouldn't retract. But good news, the teams were able to resolve that issue, and we're proceeding ahead with attempt number 2 and blue skies to boot. I'm Kate Tice, Senior Manager of Quality Systems Engineering.
And I'm Jake Berkowitz, a lead propulsion engineer. And today we're coming to you live once again from just outside the production floor at Star Factory, where the team's preparing for Starship's 12th test flight.
Yeah, yesterday was certainly a nail biter as we recycled to the T-minus 40 second hold a couple of times. And while we unfortunately weren't able to lift off, keep in mind that this is the first flight of a completely redesigned vehicle. So we actually learned a lot in what became a wet dress rehearsal yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. And Starship version 3 has undergone significant upgrades, taking everything we've learned from the previous 11 flights to make a vehicle capable of full and rapid reusability.
We're debuting a new launch pad, new booster, new ship, and new engines, just to name a few.
Yeah, that's right. And as a member of the Raptor team, I can tell you we're all super excited to finally see the newest generation of Raptor engines, also V3, take flight today.
I love that view looking up under the Super Heavy. Now, Raptor and Starship version 3 are designed to enable us to send payloads and eventually people all the way to the moon and Mars.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we're planning to put Starship to work on future flights by launching bigger and more powerful Starlink version 3 satellites, which aim to substantially increase capacity in orbit, strengthen the network, and deliver an improved experience for customers.
Now, turning our attention back to today, our primary objective for Flight 12 is to put these new redesigns all together in a real live flight environment. From the outside, a lot might look familiar on Starship, but beneath the surface, it's all new. As we've said before, Starship is still a developmental program. What we're doing today is a test. We launch to learn, and we test like we fly.
Yeah, and it's really the data we're expecting to get back from today's flight that will bring us closer to making Starship operational and unlocking the next generation of our future in space. So, no matter the outcome of today's test flight, excitement is guaranteed.
Now let's head a couple floors upstairs where Dan Hewitt is just outside our Launch Control Center. How's it going up there today, Dan?
It's going great, Kate. Everybody, welcome back for round 2. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. We're looking good for a launch today. Do you want to do a quick summary, though, of what we saw yesterday, how we got back to launch? It's a really good example of all of the different moving parts that have to work together to get a rocket off the pad. About halfway up that tower, you see an arm that holds all of the propellant connections into the ship. It's also set up so it kind of pushes against the ship to help make sure that we have a really good connection, and it stays attached when we unlatch that quick disconnect. There's a pin in the arm near where that attaches to the tower that has to be removed before the arm can swing away for launch. It's important to remember there's a lot of benefit to not release the arm too early or too late, and a lot of hardware that has to work in concert in very, very short time frames. We started to unpin it. Releasing that tension caused some motion in the arm that triggered a hold, and that put the pin back in. Then that got us into a bit of a tug of war between systems on the tower that rely on hydraulic pressure to work. Really, the arm trying to keep its pressure on the ship and trying to pull that pin out. You saw we made a couple of attempts to fix the issue, eventually got the pin to start retracting again, but hit the same motion hold. Ultimately ran out of time. The team, though, made some hardware, some software changes to get us into a better position to fly today. We had the tower team up there last night. They welded in some hardware that's going to cut down on the motion of the arm as it's pushing back when the pin's released. And getting all the data we saw on how this hardware interacts in those critical moments, went in, looked at our software, all of our logic, see where we were overly conservative, where we may have had holds built on the wrong readings or the wrong times. Overall, though, really fast work by the engineering teams put us in a position for flight today. Heroic work by our logistics teams to get all the propellant out there. But things are looking really good for launch systems as we count down to liftoff. Propellant load is underway. You can see the rocket getting frosty. We're on track to launch at the top of our window at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Weather has been gorgeous. Thank you to everybody who was outside yelling at clouds that got us weather yesterday. It extended into today, and we are looking at a green range right now. Functionally, today's countdown, identical to yesterday, looks very similar to previous Starship flight tests. Some minor differences in timing on things like when we start propellant load, when the water starts flowing on the diverter, when our engines start up. But all the hardware's new booster, new ship, new engines, new pad. Let's do another quick look at everything that's debuting today with Starship version 3. As Kate noted, some of the outside will look familiar, but we've made extensive upgrades across the entire system. Big picture, because Starship's still very, very big. It's just over 407 feet tall, fully stacked, a little bit taller than version 2, have more propellant in both stages. On the bottom half, our super heavy booster has some visible structural changes on the outside. On its top, we've got an integrated hot stage now, got rid of the one-time use one, so we're doing that for reusability. The ship's Raptor engines are going to be igniting directly into the top of the booster. That's where you're looking right now. All of that force and heat offset by the pressure inside the booster's fuel tank and a thin layer of non-structural steel. The grid fins on the booster, which we used to steer on descent, went from 4 down to 3, but we made them 50% larger. Higher strength, also use them for lift, and we'll use them for catch on future missions when we bring the booster back. We redesigned the fuel transfer tube inside the booster. That's what's sending all of that massive amount of liquid methane down to those 33 engines, lets us light all 33 at the same time and have faster, more reliable flips. The bottom of the booster looks very different with those Raptor 3 engines. We deleted all of the bulky engine shrouds from previous generations, all of the prop, avionics hardware, everything for that super tightly integrated now, protected by much slimmer shielding. Up on the second stage, Starship version 3 designed to carry massive orbital payloads up to 100 metric tons to Earth orbit, the Moon, and Mars. Biggest changes inside the vehicle itself. Propulsion system got a complete redesign, increased our propellant tank volume, improved our steering on orbit. In the payload bay, the PEZ dispenser is supercharged. That's going to increase the deploy speed for each of our satellites. We've got 22 payload deployables in there today. It's the heaviest we've ever carried on Starship. Eventually, we'll have up to 60 planned of those Starlink V3 satellites. Also on the ship, we added docking ports. There's 2 right below the payload bay door, 2 near the bottom. That's going to enable us to have Starships link up in orbit for propellant transfer. Also modified the connection point in the ship to facilitate that. So a lot of upgrades tip to tail, and still powering it all is the Raptor 3. Now, those engines are manufactured in Hawthorne, California, tested in McGregor, Texas, up the thrust and the sea level and the vacuum engines, and then took all of the sensors, feed lines, controllers, everything that was kind of the busy sections around Raptors 1 and 2, and either deleted them or internally integrated and protected them inside the engine. That dramatically cut down on the weight, made it easier for those to manufacture. So just an incredible amount of effort from the world's best engineering team getting this rocket to the pad, ready to launch today. I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. That was a lot. Send it back down to Kate and Jake for more on Pad 2.
Yeah, so like Dan was just saying, the team has been working hard on a brand new rocket, but we also redesigned the ground systems. And that brand new Pad 2 is making its debut today.
We took everything we learned from operating on Pad 1 to create this totally new launch pad. Pad 2 is optimized for full and rapid reusability. We've upgraded our propellant farm with much more storage and more pumps to enable super fast filling for launch and relaunch. And on the tower, we changed to shorter chopsticks. That's the black assembly there at the top of the tower, and that enables even faster motion to better track vehicles flying in for catch.
Yeah, and we also changed the actuators driving those chopsticks from hydraulics to 100% electromechanical, increasing their speed, redundancy, and reliability. On the ground, the launch mount was also completely redesigned, and if I had to describe it in one word, I'd say robust. But it's also smarter. We've separated the fuel and aux systems into different compartments and repositioned the booster quick disconnects to be out of the vehicle's plume during liftoff.
And as you can see there on your screen, we also have a new bi-directional flame diverter and a new top deck flame deflector to eliminate metal wearing down. So we said goodbye to the pancake. However, this will help us get to 0 refurbishment between launches. Now, this pad is still built for maximum safety and fast turnaround because making life multiplanetary will require launching a lot of Starships. Now, it's currently T-minus 18 minutes and 38 seconds. We're going to hop over to Hawthorne for a moment for more on Starlink with Tyler Lionquist. Tyler?
Hey, Kate, thank you so much. I'm Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. We're excited to be back here in Hawthorne, ready for another attempt at a launch today. So as we talked about yesterday, on today's flight, we're deploying 20 Starlink simulators, plus 2 modified Starlink satellites, which our team internally refers to as Dodger Dogs, because they stretch the V2 mini satellite propellant tank so that it sticks out from both ends of the satellite. And the Dodger Dog serves as a tech demo between the V2 and the V3 Starlink satellites, and acts as a platform for testing V3 components. Now, the larger V3 satellites aim to greatly expand our network's capacity, while V3 hardware is designed to support faster Wi-Fi and improved broadband speeds for our customers while providing significant capacity upgrades from the V2 Mini. So, in addition to delivering future V3 satellites to the Starlink network, Starship is also planned to launch our AI satellites. And as you may have seen during the TerraFab event in Austin a few months ago, Elon laid out the path to revolutionize cloud computing and AI infrastructure, leveraging the unlimited power of the sun, targeting 100 gigawatts to 1 terawatt of AI computing power annually. And from there, we're looking at connectivity beyond our planet too. Building on the technologies used to connect people on Earth, the Starlink team is exploring using Starlink to enable high bandwidth connectivity around the moon. With a constellation of satellites designed to connect to user terminals on the lunar surface, we could relay data back to our Starlink constellation in Earth orbit. So traditionally, deep space comms have relied on radio frequency transmission. But this new design would use lasers to relay data back to Earth, which can massively increase the bandwidth available to future lunar missions. We currently have thousands of lasers operating in our Starlink constellation around Earth, and deploying that technology around the moon could connect it with hundreds of terabits of capacity. Together, this could provide the connectivity backbone between the Earth and the moon, and enable gigabit connectivity anywhere on the lunar surface, providing data for rovers, habitats, and astronauts, and hopefully some incredible views for us back on Earth too. So all of that adds up to a lot of satellites, but the good news is there's still plenty of space in space. That said, the Starlink team takes space safety extremely seriously and works hard to encourage best practices across the entire industry so space stays open for as many people as possible. In fact, just yesterday, the Starlink team published a new update on Starlink.com to encourage all satellite operators to better coordinate and follow best practices to keep space safe. So for more on safety, go to starlink.com/updates. And with that, let's kick it back over to Kate and Jake and Starbase for today's mission profile.
Thanks, Tyler. Now let's dive into the flight profile for today's test. As we've mentioned already a couple of times, there are numerous redesigns making their debut today across the entire launch vehicle. In light of this, we want to keep our learning focused on all of that new hardware and software. So we're running a flight profile that's similar to past Starship flights in order to minimize any new variables.
Yeah, that's right. So as always, we start with liftoff, where Super Heavy ignites 33 of those brand new Raptor 3 engines. We power through ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where the booster shuts down all but 5 sustainer engines. Stage 2 then lights its Raptor engines while still attached to Super Heavy, where we see stage separation, debuting the integrated hot stage, directional booster flip, and engine relight for boost back using 33 engines. And after coasting for a few minutes, the booster today will target a landing burn and soft splashdown a few miles off from the coast of Starbase.
Ship keeps it going with ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory. Then we'll deploy 20 Starlink simulator satellites and 2 Dodger Dogs, as we affectionately call them. We also plan to relight a single Raptor engine. Next will be re-entry a few minutes later. For the first time in a while, we're intentionally not messing with Starship's heat shield. At that point, we should have some amazing views of the ship's Technicolor re-entry through Earth's atmosphere. If all of that goes as planned, we'll finish the test with a landing flip, a landing burn, and a soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And in just a few moments, thanks to Starlink, we'll be going live to the Indian Ocean and chatting once again with the ship recovery team stationed out there.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That's going to be totally awesome. But sit tight, because first we're going to go to Dan for a quick status check.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Good news. Still looking good. Range is green currently. We're expecting another update on that in just about 4 minutes. That should be our final determination. Weather continues to look amazing. Vehicle and pad both looking healthy. We are a little over 80% on fuel, 95 on LOX in the ship, and then a little more than 2/3 it's looking like on booster. So we are on track today, looking good for a launch right now at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, so we're going to do that right at the top of our window. Once again, though, we're going to be targeting to send Starship around the world for a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We had a really quick check-in yesterday with the Starship recovery team out there on station. They're helping us to maintain the range and a whole lot more. So let's jump back out there once more today. We've got Suren Sunai joining us live from the boat deck out in the Indian Ocean, a couple hundred miles off the coast of Australia. Suren, how's it going, man? Welcome to the Flight 12 webcast. How's everything looking out there in the landing zone?
Dan, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little rougher than it was yesterday. Nighttime, it's hard to see the horizon, but we're looking at about 10-foot seas, and we're loving it, but it's rough.
All right, what's your guys' primary job out there? I mean, you're out kind of in the middle of nowhere. What are you guys doing?
So, like as you mentioned, like it's usually a 500 to 600 nautical mile sail from shore. And our primary goal is as a range clearing group. So like we come out here and make sure there's no one else in the area so the rocket can launch. But that kind of allows us to do our second goal, which is to conduct imagery of the rocket as it re-enters and as it splashes down. We get a lot of other data, but like the primary one is for sure imagery with an ensemble of maritime and aerial-based assets.
And talk to us a little bit, because it's evolved over time, kind of humble beginnings of getting those views, to talk us through where we've gotten to now today.
Yeah, I think some people know, but like the Markset bots are quite identifiable. That's the buoys that we use. And they were originally used as sailboat racers. And we kind of put them in as a Hail Mary attempt on Flight 5 to get imagery of the rocket as it came down. And we all thought it maybe would have worked, but we were super shocked and really pleased to see all of the buoys pointed right at the rocket as it came down, which was a testament to not only the scrappy engineering we were able to put together, but also the rocket's ability to land right on target. And then since then, we've kind of iterated more and more, and these buoys have become way more robust and have now a lot more data collection materials, not just visual imagery. And as a result, they kind of are the most mature versions they've ever been. And it's really cool because almost all the buoys that we're deploying even now for Flight 12, we just got them off our back deck a few hours ago, are the exact same ones that were used for Flight 5.
And I saw a couple of user terminals. How's Starlink kind of playing a role in this entire operation?
It's definitely less laggy.
Dan, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we didn't have Starlink out here, we would be screwed. Like just on like a usual basis of like working, we're allowed to like have calls with each other and like work on documents with each other, send things to each other in like a very timely manner because of the Starlink on the boat. But not only that, each one of these buoys is equipped with a standard Starlink Mini, the one you would just get from like ordering it commercially, and that allows us to not only operate the buoy remotely, but also to get live stream data and telemetry, which is honestly super useful, and I don't think we have another solution for it without Starlink.
All right, before I let you go, what's it like? You're out there and then all of a sudden Starship appears out of the sky. What's that feel like, man?
Dan, I can't lie to you, it feels awesome. Just like being on the boat, not seeing any land for miles and miles, and then hearing the Starship crack down with its sonic booms and watching it breach through the sky, it is one of the most magical feelings on Earth, and really excited to feel that again today.
All right, well, thanks, Suren. Good luck, man. Hopefully we're sending the rocket your way real soon. Thanks for joining us in, man. I'm going to send it now back down to Kate and Jake for the latest progress we're making at Cape Canaveral in Florida.
Thanks, Dan. Now, if we want to get to the moon and then Mars as fast as possible, there's really only one answer, and it's to launch a lot more rockets.
Yeah, and to do that, we're going to need a few more launch pads and support buildings, which is exactly what we're working on over in Florida. So originally built for Apollo and then the Space Shuttle, Launch Complex 39A has flown 126 Falcon missions since SpaceX reactivated the pad in 2017.
Yeah, I actually remember the day that we did that. I was able to host the live webcast for that first launch out of Pad 39A, and it was just so amazing to see that pad come back to life. And it's also exciting to see how today, almost 10 years later, the ongoing construction, as you see there on your screen, and the development that will bring a second launch tower to Launch Complex 39A. It's designed to expand our capabilities to support Starship launches in the future, while also continuing to support Falcon Heavy missions from the original Apollo Shuttle Falcon launch tower.
Yeah, and we're not done. We're also building a Starship launch pad at Slick 37. And to support the uptick in future launches, there's Gigabay, a giant assembly and maintenance facility designed to prep Starships ahead of Florida launches. And when complete, this huge structure aims to hold 24 work cells in over 800,000 square feet of workspace.
And we'll be back at commentary around 2 minutes before launch, by the way.
So yeah, SpaceX's future in Florida is quickly taking shape with our very first launches on the horizon.
Exactly. A horizon that aims for regular trips to the
wow,
moon.
they even got the panels
And speaking
now.
of moon, we've got another special guest for you today. Dan, I think the last time you and I were on a webcast with this person was Polaris Dawn, as he was performing the very first commercial spacewalk.
That's right, Kate
Oh
and
my
Jared.
God. Oh my
I don't know if
God.
today will be quite as cool as doing a spacewalk, but we're going to try our best to make it as exciting.
They got
Thanks for
Jared.
joining us here today, man. You had a heck of an entrance on the way in.
It's great to be here. Yep, certainly great to do a little bit of a flyby. I think they should accompany all the great rocket launches, and we certainly got a great rocket out there on the pad. But wonderful to be back, and no
Jared,
surprise, it's always changing here. It looks amazing.
I was going to say, it's been a couple of years. What was your impression flying in? It just the lay of the land.
Well, I think it was actually maybe 10 months ago. I was here slinging pizzas. I got a new job now, but it was. There's been so much that's changed.
I wonder what his new
since
job
then.
is. I truly wonder.
The facilities look amazing. All the housing that's coming in here, and of course, you got 2 orbital launch pads out there and a rocket that's just looking fantastic, especially from the air. It's good.
Yeah, you said you got a new job. It's been a slow start to your first 6 months. I mean, you only sent humans around the moon for the first time since the Apollo days. Bill and I kind of nerded out a little bit. Like, that was the last thing I worked on when I was at NASA, so seeing them go was just insane. Like, how's everybody feeling after the success of Artemis 2?
Well, I'd say I have the best job in the world, and I certainly work with an unbelievable team. I mean, as you know, that mission was a long time in the making, so I got to show up at the right time to see everybody put all that effort to put it in action. But what a great mission. Those 4 astronauts, you couldn't have had better ambassadors for humankind to the stars. I mean, they really brought us all along for 10 days, and we're getting ready for what comes next. We're going to start stacking Artemis 3. We got a lot of the hardware in the VAB already. We're hoping to even get out to the pad before the end of the year, do another wet dress. So,
What?
And we're looking forward to seeing this thing fly, because hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, we're gonna join up in Earth orbit.
Yeah, what's coming up next, and ultimately, like, based on the moon, that's the big focus. Like, what's kind of the why? Like, why are we doing this for everybody?
Oh, well, I mean, and yes, we're certainly trying to get back to the moon, but what's coming up next? We're also building a moon base in parallel. And why are we doing that? Well, it's for a lot of the shirts I see around here, which is Occupy Mars. I mean, what a great opportunity. Go to the moon, return to the moon, build a moon base on the South Pole, interact with the water ice, right? Maybe work on some of those skills we're going to need when we're 4 days away from home for what we might need someday when we're 9 months away from home. But we got other things coming up too. You got Nancy Grace Roman. That telescope's going to launch later this summer. There's a lot of great, exciting things going on at NASA right now.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, SpaceX, we're custom built to try and make life multiplanetary. We're super honored, excited to be part of this entire Artemis program. Really excited to see Starship, sending people to the moon, all of the different pieces working together. It's going to be a really exciting future.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me here. It's great to see everybody. Again, I know a lot of hard work leads up to a moment like this, so we're all rooting for you, and we're looking forward to meeting up next year in Earth orbit.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you jump back in there. We got about 4 minutes to go. I'll just toss it back down to Kate and Jake.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we could listen to you guys yap about the moon pretty much all day. It's so inspiring to hear about the future of exploration on the moon. And if you caught the show yesterday, you also heard some more future space exploration news.
Yeah, that's right. From to Mission Commander Chun Wang will be one of the first humans to become an interplanetary traveler. Don't think I've ever said that word before. While also joining Starship's first mission to fly past the moon.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Amazing. In fact, that Dragon capsule that you saw there was Dragon Resilience. That is the same Dragon spacecraft that Administrator Isaacman flew in both Inspiration 4 and Polaris Dawn. So it's a good one. Now, Dan, we're now coming back into a terminal count again. Anticipation is definitely growing as we proceed towards our second attempt. Once again, this is the first flight. We're aiming to fly for the first time, Starship version 3. Massive upgrades across the vehicle that you see at the pad there, as well as the pad itself.
Yeah, sure.
The good news is we've had a pretty quiet countdown today. We are looking at a green range still, not tracking any issues with our weather, with the vehicle, or with the prop load on the ship. And then booster is going to close out in about 15 seconds or so. Once we're fully done with this, you're looking at 11.5 million plus pounds of liquid propellant on board.
Okay, so 3 minutes to go until launch. All systems are currently good to go.
Okay, event now happening at 2 minutes 50 seconds. The booster has finished prop load, and its next event will be at 2 minutes 10 seconds, where the ship's prop load will.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a very important. Like I said, these next steps here are very important as we are waiting on launch. 2 minutes 30 seconds to go until launch of Starship's 12th flight test.
Do you know how many shots they have with the DSS?
Last attempt was like, I think like 4 times. So like I said, they can fire many times. As the DSS doesn't use much stuff. Okay, we're good to go. Yep.
Minus 1 minute 50 seconds until launch.
I'll go ahead and take over once we get past the 40-second gate check.
Next event at 30 seconds,
40.
the flight director will be go for launch.
Oh, there's the gimbal. Oh, those are some fast gimbal.
We have gimbal check.
Engine wiggles.
Go.
The thrust vector control
1
actuators.
minute 20. Okay,
on
so
these
I'm gonna go and
engines.
take over here. Golf launch, do you have any final words before Booster 19 and Ship 39 launch?
I'd like to say, good luck SpaceX, and Godspeed Starship. Let's see this thing fly today.
Okay, here we go. 1 minute. 1 minute. Flight director Ty Huntington now back in the seat as we prepare for launch.
We're gonna let the rocket take over and listen to some amazing pad sounds of the first flight of Starship version 3.
45 seconds to go until launch of Starship's 12th flight test. 40 seconds to see. Looks like we're holding for a few seconds here.
All right, we are holding. We're just waiting for the fuel pushback to complete into the prop farm.
We are in
We
a
did hear that did just complete, so expecting them to reset.
Everyone should know that this is.
Yeah, okay. This is the plan hold. Like I said, this is entirely. Here we go. Let's see if we're
out of the hole.
Clock is rolling.
Come on, baby.
We'll see water deluge.
Flight directors
At 3 seconds will be ignition, and at 0 will be liftoff.
Okay, here we go. Let's listen in. 23. 20. T-minus 15. T-minus.
Minus 10.
10 seconds.
9.
Here we go.
8.
Go version 3.
7.
Go.
6.
Go version directed. Go
5,
Ship 39.
4. 3. Ignition.
We have ignition, and we have
liftoff.
We have liftoff Starship Flight 12.
Liftoff of Starship version 3. It's inaugural flight. It's underway. Go Booster 19, go Ship 39, the 33 Raptor 3 engines are on! Godspeed!
So far, everything looks good. We have
chamber pressure nominal.
Chamber pressures are nominal. 33 Raptor 3 engines are on! The vehicle is pitching down range over the Gulf. Everything looking good!
33 out of 33 Raptor 3 engines on Booster V3. Ascending over the Gulf now, coming up on maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Booster and ship, avionics power, telemetry nominal.
And we have
Systems looking good. We're just passing through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
That will be the maximum stress the vehicle will see during the ascent period.
A little over a minute into flight now.
Engines still running on
Vibrations chilling out here. at Star Factory as we continue to watch
Maximum aerodynamic
Starship Flight 12
pressure.
arc out
This
over
is
the
the
Gulf. The
biggest
next major
moment
thing
during
coming up is
ascent.
going to be hot staging.
Next event, the vehicle will shut off all
Booster
but
props at the top.
5
Reminder,
engines,
we do what's
separate the 2 stages,
our version
and
of
do a hot
Miko.
stage. The
Most
booster will flip
engines
and make
cut
its way
off, so we're
back
gonna
to the
shut down
Gulf.
all but 5 of
Still
the
seeing
Raptor
33
engines
of those
on the booster.
33 Raptor engines. Live views from Ship 39's flap
And then
camera.
After that happens, we're going
Views
to
by
ignite
Starlink.
the 6 engines on ship while it is still attached.
Coming up
on,
at
baby,
2
come on.
minutes,
have
22
clamps that
seconds
hold
will
the
be
2
Miko,
together.
followed
Those are
2
going
seconds
to
later
retract
by hot
inside of that
staging.
hot stage ring.
Come on,
to
dude.
protect
Uh-oh.
them.
Oh, looks like we have an engine out.
Looks like we had one of the engines go out, still flying.
Like I
on
said, 32
of
engines. The
Raptor
vehicle can
engines.
still
But again,
continue during this. This
once we
happened
get
actually
the
during
hot
Flight
staging,
10,
there's
and it was
6
it
engines
was
on
still
the ship
successful.
we're
And this is
going
an
to
outer
fly.
engine.
We're gonna
So
do
this
it
is
in a
an
little
outer
bit
engine.
different
So this
of
isn't the
a
vehicle has the vehicle can still
sequence on
continue.
version 3. Essentially, those 3
Looks like this is
RVAC
a new
engines
maneuver
And
here.
we are
It's-
10
it
seconds
looks
away
like
from
after
Miko.
just one of those
10 seconds away from
central
Miko.
engines is going
They
to
will shut
ignite.
off to 5 of
And that's
those
gonna give the
Raptor
booster
3
a bit of a
engines,
kick,
and then
sending
separate
it
the
in a
stages,
no
and the
direction,
booster will make its Gulf,
followed
and the
shortly
ship will
And
continue.
we have
by the other
Miko.
2.
There go Biko, booster engine cutoff.
We're through
Yeah,
Miko.
A little bit of delay.
Separation.
You're waiting for
Stage
ship start,
sep!
and we have ship start. Stage sep confirmed.
Look at that! Uh-oh!
Booster turns
Booster!
around.
Booster,
There you
no!
go,
And
successful
the booster back on.
hot
What
staging
a
separation.
shot.
The boost!
We are not seeing as many
Booster,
booster
uh-oh.
engines ignite as we
Expecting
expected
flight
for boost
termination
back,
system to activate.
but we are
It's
seeing
making
6
its way away
good
from the ship.
engines
Expect
lit
flight
on
termination
ship.
system to activate on the booster.
It looks like we just had an early boost back
Expect
shutdown.
FTS.
Again, a reminder, the booster was planned to essentially head into the Gulf for a splashdown, but it has shut its engines down early on into boost back.
Still no. Uh-oh! Ship! No!
And we just see one of the RVAC, so we're now running on 5
Ship.
engines
Oh,
God.
on the
Down.
ship.
Okay, everyone. So
down
we're
one
gonna tell you this. This is not
We
planned.
do
This is
have
not
engine out
planned.
capability, so it's going to
This is not
continue
normal.
into
We'll
its
see what
ascent.
happens. Looks like we do have one RVAC out. Still continuing with 5 engines. The
got
ship
booster
can
on the
still
left there, ship
compensate with
on the
1
right.
engine out. This is not
This is the
intentional.
first time.
Again, we are not
I'm pretty sure this is the
planning on
first time we've had an
bringing the
engine out
booster
on ship.
back for this flight, as this was the very first time.
Like I said, this is a test flight. This is the first version 3 launch, so not really what we want to see.
All right, so we're about 3 minutes,
But
50
let's see what
seconds
happens.
into
It's
today's
still
flight.
going.
Just a reminder that the ship planned to burn
telemetry is
its
still
engines
nominal.
for about 8 minutes and change.
They're using Raptor 3.
About 8 minutes
so
and
this
11
is,
seconds was our planned
this is
timeline
just-
for today. That could shift slightly as we do have
booster,
one engine
the booster's
out,
just
running
done.
on 1 fewer
The
RVACs.
booster's just done. If the booster makes it, that would just be just bonkers.
Again, continuing to watch. So booster did not complete its boost back burn. We did not see
Oh my
all of the
God.
engines
Oh, wow.
ignite.
Oh,
That we
what
expected.
A cam. What a cam
Are
on
continuing
the
to get
booster.
some views
I like
from
how
it
they
though.
expose the
That's going to make a
engines.
splashdown somewhere
There are
in
those
the
new
Gulf.
Raptor V3
Reminder:
engines.
we clear air, sea space, everything
Oh God, oh God.
for these
I am
launches.
not liking this. I am not liking this. I'm sorry, everyone, if I yelled. This is just crazy bonkers. So like I said, there are 5 engines on ship. Booster did not
All right,
complete
so
boost
we are
back.
coming up on
The booster's,
T
the
plus
booster's not oriented
5
correctly,
minutes.
so I don't think it's making it here.
Ship continuing to
and
fire
unfortunately,
5
we
of
weren't
the
able
6.
to get those live cams. Those live cams, we had a little bit of trouble with that.
Standing by for callouts, making sure ship's on its planned trajectory. Again, we are planning a suborbital trajectory for the ship today. Booster giving us some views as it continues to make its way back down towards the water.
It's the inaugural flight of version 3, so like I said.
All right, so a little
Anything
over
can
5.5 minutes in flight. Kate, Jake, you guys with me?
Coming up
Looks like
next,
boosters
in 1
starting to
minute,
come in
will be
hot.
the start of
Yeah,
the
we
booster
had
landing burn.
the opportunity to stand outside to watch launch.
Come on,
and
booster!
Wow, that was incredible.
Booster is rolling.
Yeah, that was really loud, really shaky, and I was
coming
actually surprised how
fast.
fast the booster got off the pad or the whole
Here it
stack.
comes.
That was quite
Oh,
incredible.
very high angles
Absolutely.
to
So we have views here from the booster
Through high
coming
cloud.
back
Booster,
down,
landing
making its
burn,
way into
startup.
the Gulf.
Oh, good.
pretty cool to
We
see.
have healthy chamber pressures on 5 out of 6
Landing
ship
burn
raptor
startup
engines.
is expected
Great
at
news there for
2 minutes 34
Starship.
seconds, but
You
might
can see the
happen
shotgun. There it is! Is it actually
There's
doing
landing
it?
burn start.
The booster!
Through the cloud.
Once again, we were not
And there
going
it
to
goes.
bring the super heavy booster back to the tower. We were
There
planning
goes the
on
booster.
having it land in the Gulf.
Acquisition signal.
Rest in peace, Booster 19.
And it looks like the
Booster
booster
10.
ended its mission there
It's
in the
a
Gulf,
Booster
but
10.
we've got a
Ship-
ship still flying. Great to
Ship
see
still
that. Still have
surviving.
5
There's
out of
one
6
arm
engines
back
there
out.
on S39.
This tells you
Yes,
how
we also heard
reliable
good chamber pressures
version
as well
3
on
is.
those engines
Like,
that are lit. We do have engine out capability. We do see that we have one of the RVAC, one of the Raptor
and I said the
vacuum
RVACs are not needed
engines
for the
that
landing
is currently
burn.
out,
but as you
that's okay. Ship
said,
is
the
continuing
flight
on.
termination system has not been activated.
Amazing views of planet Earth.
And like I said, the
there
vehicle
in
has
the background.
in-flight capability.
Yeah, I love the S39 decal there. That just gives the
Coming
gives
up
the
in
ship a little bit of
1 minute will
character.
be Seco.
And again, all these great
Come on.
views
If
brought
it
to you
makes it to
by
Seco,
Starlink,
that-
of course.
that Ship 39 will just be like, oh my god. Ship 39 will just be the beast.
Yeah, obligatory shout out to the entire Starship avionics, camera, electronics team. Did a whole lot of
Oh,
work
God.
to get these upgraded cameras.
Beautiful!
A look inside of the ship skirt, you can see those 3
You
center
can
engines
see-
ignited.
you
The
can see
RVACs
those
continuing to
engines,
fire as well.
It looks like
We
some
did
kind of
see at
leak
least a couple
almost,
engines fire up on
that,
booster for that landing burn
has been
before
there
we
before.
lost
The leak-
contact
the
with
leak
it.
has been there, but I would.
We
I
should
would
have
like it.
just a little over 20 seconds to
Come
go.
on,
We'll
baby.
see if the burn
The burn
extends
is
a
going to
little
extend
bit.
longer, because you know.
For the engine out, essentially you can run your engines a little bit longer or throttle up a little bit more to account for
Come on,
the
if
one
those
engine
RVACs
not
shut
being
down-
lit.
Coming up on Seco.
So right now we are standing by for Seco.
Come on, ship, do its thing. They said it's going to extend a little longer. I'm not sure if they're going to shut down to 3 or if they're just going to shut them all off once. I'm not sure. We're going to see here. This is the first flight victory.
And again, we are continuing to go
We
a
have
little bit
orbital map.
longer.
Let's see. Come on,
Waiting call
Starship.
out.
I'm going to call it here for Seco. Come on.
5 engines still burning on ship.
Oh? Come on. Come on, ship. Come on.
The Raptors.
It's stable.
burning.
It's doing well.
Raptors are
They said-
still burning to compensate for that
We're
lost
coming up
RVAC.
on T
This
plus
is the
9
longest
minutes.
burn ever in Starship history, by the way, everyone. This is the longest burn. You're really putting the Raptor 3s to the limits here. Come on, baby. Do something. Yes!
And starting to see
RVAC shut down!
RVACs
Seco!
have shut down. Sea levels are shut down.
Did you do it?
And we have successful Seco
Seco!
of
It
Starship.
did it with one RVAC out! Oh my god! It did it with one RVAC out!
Seeing if we can get an update on the ship orbit insertion.
Come on.
But we have shut
Yes,
down again. We did run
Norman,
longer as
you
we were
are
engine out.
amazing.
We were flying with 5 of those 6 Raptors pretty much the
Can we
whole
get
time.
nominal and orbital insertion, please? FTS
Ship
saved.
FTS is saved.
Okay, come here on nominal orbital insertion. Call out. It's gonna take a little longer because they gotta analyze. Oh, we're hearing cheering. Waiting on confirmation
We are waiting for
on how.
All right, well, we definitely got a ship in space
Waiting
right now.
confirmation from mission control on the status of ship. The ship was able to make it to Seco with just one RVAC out. This proves RVAC out capability of Starship. The next generation Starship is here. Welcome to the market.
As you can see,
Starship.
the teams are incredibly excited to see Starship
There's
there
the
in
flap.
space. We are awaiting the call out of nominal
They may actually do the
insertion.
relight
So we're going to
and,
stand
like,
by
actually
for that.
correct the
We can see the
trajectory.
flaps moving here, actuating. But wow, the cheers here in the lobby are certainly almost as loud as liftoff was.
Yeah, yeah.
Next event
Man, a
will
lot of
be
action
at
going
17
on,
minutes,
and, you know,
37 seconds
we said at the top
when
of
the
the show,
Starlink deploy will start.
excitement guaranteed, and we're only 11 minutes in. We still have a lot more to go here on the mission today. So all objectives are done on the booster. So now all eyes are on the ship as we get ready for our in-space objectives.
Holy.
Exactly. So like I said, we're still standing by to hear the call out for nominal orbital insertion, but we've got a few minutes before the next milestone. So we're going to continue. We've got some amazing views here of the ship. Wow, it's just that this is our planet. This is our home.
19 has appeared to have a rapid unscheduled disassembly, as we were talking about. Waiting on that call for nominal orbital insertion on ship. Let's see what happens here.
As a reminder, the objectives for ship today.
Do they do a mishap if the booster gets lost, or is that just like?
But we're also planning to deploy
they may
20
do a mishap because an engine went out, but I'm not
simulator
sure.
satellites, as well as 2 Dodge satellites. That's what our internal teams refer to as our newer satellites. We saw a preview of those earlier. We should see those deployments here in a little bit.
Not even Block 2 could
We're
do
also
that.
hoping to perform a relight of a Raptor engine as well.
Yep, that's exactly right. And
Well,
the
aside
relight
for
will
ship
look a little
38,
bit different this
which could
time. We're hoping to get a
have
little bit of a
mission,
longer
but instead
duration.
ended up
Of course, we
destroying
got to
half.
see once we get there. And that relight won't actually be changing our orbit necessarily, but we're doing it more so as a technology demonstration.
For those of you that maybe just recently tuned in, you missed a pretty exciting almost 13 minutes. We had a liftoff pretty much on time, almost right exactly at 5:30 p.m. We did have a brief hold at the T-minus 40-second period, but we were able to proceed through that, and we saw a gorgeous liftoff. Jake and I were able to stand outside and witness that with all of our colleagues.
I'm going to watch some replays here, everyone. 1 second.
It's a heck of a lot louder
Let's
out
see if we
here
can
than
get
it was at Ad Astra.
that tracking footage in.
Absolutely. And a couple things I noticed on the way uphill today on the ship. So obviously it looks like we lost one of the RVACs on the way, but
That's
a good way to demonstrate our potential engine out capability there. So
Exactly.
I think we actually saw the 3 gimbaling engines kind of gimbal over a little bit to compensate for that offset and thrust. So that was really cool. That's something I know the team's been, we've analyzed that since Flight 1 all the way back. So it's something that we've thought about quite a bit, and it was kind of cool to see it in action in real life today.
Yeah, absolutely. If you couldn't tell, Jake is on the Raptor team.
Yeah. But hey, one non-Raptor thing I noticed also back on the when we had the shot of the aft flaps, it's a little weird. We have tiles on the leeward side, so not on the side where we're going to see heating. And you might be asking, why are we putting tiles there? I had the same question actually. So I talked to some of our heat shield engineers the other day, and we're actually running. Yeah, here's the shot right here. Great. So the fact that we're seeing all these tiles still on the flap right now is really good, because that actually was one of our experiments where we wanted to test different connection methods on the way uphill on ship, so actually ascent. So it looks like most, if not all, the tiles are still hanging on there. So that's actually
Starship vehicle as a whole. This is one of the flaps on the vehicle that helps to control its position and attitude as it is orbiting, and also helps to control during re-entry as well.
Why
That's a
the
critical
hell
phase.
did some of the
I mentioned
outer
earlier
ones
that we're
went
hoping
out?
to deploy those Starlink satellite simulators,
Why the heck
as
did some
well
of the outer
as
engines?
perform an in-space relay of a Raptor engine. If all of that goes well, we will be targeting a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We heard from Suren on the recovery team a little bit earlier. They are standing by waiting to receive the ship that we see here.
all right. Let's send it upstairs. Dan, how's it looking?
Hey guys,
What
we are
launch
looking
that
good. It
was.
does look like we are within bounds of what we analyzed if we were down one of our RVAC engines. So I wouldn't call it nominal orbital
replays.
insertion, but we're
Let's
on a trajectory that we had analyzed, and it's within bounds. So Team's continuing to work through it with that engine out. They're working through some steps on the engines. We probably will end up skipping the Raptor relight for today, but it sounds like we should still be on for payload deploy, at least at this time. So very dynamic moments right here with the ship, but we do have it in space. It is on a trajectory now, headed towards the other side of the planet, and then a splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, Starlink
It's going to start to get darker. We're heading into an orbital sunset. So we're gonna have darkness for a little bit, and then it'll brighten up once we're on the other side of the planet, and hopefully looking at some good daylight when we re-enter into the Indian Ocean.
Like, oh my God.
That was amazing.
Yo, Aiden, you could have watched the launch. There's a flight from Amsterdam to New Mexico that passed over during the launch.
There was?
To Mexico City on KLM. You should have gone on KLM, buddy.
I wonder if anyone has some video from that flight.
Go check NASA spaceflight. Oh my God, NASA spaceflight got something on the booster.
All right, so we're a little over 17 minutes into flight.
No, they
didn't.
didn't.
Just now catching up with us.
They were unsuccessful.
We did see a liftoff right at the top of our window. Super Heavy getting off the pad, initially lighting all 33 of those Raptor engines, got through a successful hot staging. Initially lit 6 engines on ship, had 1 RVAC go out on the way uphill, but still able to make it into space. And right now we're trying to see if we are going to get into payload deploy still.
Actually, oh my God. Are we in a nominal orbit, by the way?
Coming up right on the part of the timeline when we were expecting it. You look inside a Starship there. Oh, I see a door opening.
We're standing by for the first Starlink deployment.
Looks like Hal didn't wait. Pez door is open. Just a reminder, we've got 22 deployables in the payload bay today. 20 of those Starlink mass simulators, and then 2 are Dodger dogs, as we like to call them internally, sitting up their modified V2 Starlink satellites. Those are going to be testing a bunch of components that we're planning to fly on Starlink V3, and we've also got them outfitted with a number of cameras for another tech demo that we're trying out on this flight. We definitely are looking for a way that we can look at Starship's heat shield while it's still in space. You can kind of only see so much from the cameras and the flaps. You can't see everything kind of on the underbelly, and one of the only ways you can do that is if you got something else flying near it. So
yeah, I forgot I have
we're going to attempt to our final 2 satellites going out the door have a suite of cameras on them that are going to be looking back at the ship. We're going to be in nighttime.
If this actually works and it makes the splashdown, that would
sounds like we're getting into payload deploy. We'll be in nighttime. They've got some powerful flashlights on them to try and illuminate the ship's heat shield while we fly away from it. So, we see some Pez motion.
There's some things happening.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. It's actually good. Come on.
Okay.
See, I told you they could do it. Because remember, this is basically the same system as version 2. It is going.
There it is. It's the first satellite out of 20.
Yes! Pew pew! Did it!
2 down, 20 to go. As a reminder, that's one of the things that we upgraded in version 3. Kind of gave a little soup up to the Pez dispenser, so those satellites going to move out a little bit quicker than they did on previous Starship flight tests.
Look at all that just motion. And mind you, this is not attached to the ground, so like Starship has probably the best batteries. Wait, did they only 2 at a time? They deployed 2 at a time. Oh wow, that's actually sick.
There's Starlink before.
There they go. Another 2.
All right, 4 down, 18 to go. flexing my basic math skills here today. Again, the majority of this stack, 20 of these 22 satellites, they're essentially just mass simulators, so they're roughly the same size as those Starlink V3 sats that we're hoping to fly later this year. And from this top-down view, so you're looking down at the stack, those two satellites you see on the very top, that they'll look very different. They've got solar arrays. They've got a bunch of other deployables on them that we're going to be testing out that are going to be V3 tech, and they've got 3 engineering cameras and then 1 other camera that's hopefully going to be giving us some views of Starship in space.
What? Oh my.
We will see.
What was that?
Again,
what was that white splash? I don't think I should be saying anything about that, but to get this thing family friendly.
Starship, and the primary reason we're trying to do this
You
is to
mean
get
white
some views of the
splash.
heat shield.
There's a white splash during on the camera. There we go. More! Yay! More satellites! Yay!
And I think that counts.
Out the front door.
That comes up to 8 total.
USA.
As you can tell, the
USA,
teams are stoked to see this demonstration happening. It's pretty incredible to see this happening live from space. Now, as we noted earlier in the show, but worth repeating, this Starship version 3 is built to deploy up to 60 of Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites. Everything's V3. Designed to offer 60 terabits per second of per satellite. Now that is 20 times more than each Falcon 9 does today. Incredible.
All right, I think that's number 10 going out the door. Yeah, there it goes.
Halfway.
So yeah, the camera view you have on your left screen there is basically right at the bottom of the payload volume. So the kind of dome-shaped structure you see there that's actually the top of the fuel tank.
Then the camera view that you have on the right is an external camera that we have positioned so that you can see basically the light through the open PEZ dispenser door that you see. That's that sliver of light. We can see the Starlinks here deploying as each one comes through. As we mentioned, we have 20 of these Starlink simulator satellites, and then we have 2 of these specially modified, as we call them, Dodger dogs around here. Those, as Dan mentioned earlier, they have some V3 tech on them, some solar arrays, and those will be the last 2 that will be deployed today.
Oh God, we get to the end of the stack.
Yeah, that's right. And seeing this, as I think Dan called them turbocharged or supercharged PEZ dispenser, it's definitely coming out much faster than our previous flights. So that is really good to see. Yeah, look at that.
Splash out the front door.
And especially once we, fill Starship up all the way with around 60 or so of these Starlinks, being able to deploy them fairly expediently, is going to be important for designing the overall mission profile.
Yeah. Now, fans of Starship may know that Starlink enables lots of unprecedented views, both from space, as we see here, and on Earth. In addition to the dozens of cameras on Starship itself, we also have mobile Starlink camera kits deployed in the Indian Ocean.
Starbase and at other strategic camera spots around Texas.
It's all part of how it all comes together to tell the incredible story of Starship both on and off planet.
Yep.
All right, we're getting low on the stack. It looks like we got 2 more of those simulators to go out, and then it will be time for our Dodger Dogs, those modified Starlink satellites. just a couple of updates while we continue to watch payload deploy. Did get confirmation we're going to be skipping that relight of the Raptor engine, just due to everything that we saw on the way uphill. Those sea level engines, we're going to use them for a landing burn, though. They are still capable to be used for that. So we'll still look to do a controlled landing in the Gulf, but no in-space relight.
Okay, that's going to be fun.
All right, I think that's 19 and 20 headed out the door.
Okay, those are all of the mass simulators.
And coming up are
Here comes the Dodger Dogs.
So these are modified
Here they
V2
come. There they
Starlink
go.
satellites. We do have
Are we
a
going to
number
get cameras
of
on the Dodger
cameras on
Dogs,
these
please?
that are going to attempt to look back at Starship. We're not going
Please
to get
have
this
live
video in real
views.
time, but
If we
we're
have
going
live
to try
views,
and turn it around if we
this
do
will be
get some video
insane.
down. So we don't worry, if we get views of Starship from these satellites, we will be sharing.
Okay, so it's going to be a replay when we get the Dodger Dogs. Okay.
And these will be exciting because, again, they're really a tech demo. Getting our chance to test out some of the technologies for version 3. All right, I think that's 18.
I got the
and 20.
Dodger
My
Dogs,
basic
and
math
that's
skills are
full
failing.
payload deployment.
All right, here we go.
And I don't think we're going to be getting views from the Dodger Dogs, but we will get those later on. Oh, come on. Here we go. Wait, what do you mean here we go? Wait, there's more? Oh, there's more.
We're standing by for Starship, basically to serve the first Dodger Dogs to low Earth orbit.
Oh, these are the Dodgers.
And one out the
There
door.
goes the Dodger Dog. There we go. Now that was the Dodger Dog.
And from this view, you can kind of see on the right side of the
here comes the
satellite,
second
you
one
see
going
some
out.
bright white spots. Those are our flashlights. Beneath them, the camera's going to attempt to look back and image Starship's heat shield as it flies slowly away from the vehicle.
There we go.
And there it goes.
That's full payload deployment. There goes the flash.
There we go. Oh my
Let
God,
there be
flashlight.
Yeah, it almost looks like the
They
light
work!
is just shining right at us there.
Let there be light.
I'm excited for those views.
If you couldn't
Could
tell,
make them
we're
later
pretty
around
excited.
the SpaceX
Yeah.
team got things up
It
their
is always
sleeves.
sunny in space.
Let's see.
Always sunny in space, and that looks like an empty payload bay. So
Sure does.
that's exactly what you want to see there. That's
Goes
great.
The payload bay door.
So
now
yeah, with
closing.
payload deploy complete. Oh, you can see the door closing there. All right, there we go. So yeah, with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its. Yeah, Starship, we closed the payload door, and we're going to continue to coast around Earth all the way to the Indian Ocean. So still a lot of major events to come today. Sounds like we're not going to hit that Raptor relight based on what Dan was saying, but after that, of course, we'll have the atmospheric reentry
Big dam.
and splashdown. And with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
So sit tight, enjoy some amazing space views and the space jams, of course. And we'll be back in a few minutes for Raptor relight. Or excuse me, not for the relight, but we'll be standing by for atmospheric
Whoa.
reentry.
Where's my relight?
Yeah, no relight. They're skipping the relight. It's 30
Wow.
minutes. Okay. And these are the new jams by whatchamacallit?
Test shot.
Test shot. I can't speak at all. I'm just speechless, literally.
I mean, how couldn't you? be
Bright
speechless?
flashlight. Yes, Basie, it's bright flashlight. Very bright. Anyways, what
Oh,
did
is
we all
that it
think
right
of
there?
that? What?
Is that?
Oh, that's the Dodger Dog. And remember, they're gonna examine the heat shield. We'll hopefully get some photos or video, either after the stream or maybe even during the stream. Like I said, they have to process everything.
Absolutely amazing.
That had to have been just the coolest launch ever. Thanks to the entire TSDG team at Starbase. I just watched the replays and holy cow. And like, holy cow, that was just...
Aiden, what the hell?
that was just something before. Don't talk about it on stream, please. Anyways. That was just nuts.
Have you checked out the new ETFS update? Unrelated. You should check it out.
I'll do it. I may do it like after stream. I'm not doing that. Okay, so I guess so. If you saw also, that if you also saw, wait, let me see. Cam's dead. What? I can't see your screen, dude. Oh my God, that's the camera. Sorry, everyone. The camera's dead.
That's unfortunate.
Goodbye. Rest in peace. Dude, I can't see. Oh wow. Dude, I can't see. You don't have your camera on. I can't see. There we go. Oh wow, it survived. Oh, that one survived. Okay, so the one, wait, which one was that? The far, far away one broke? Dang. How'd that break? Too much shaking. Oh my God.
Are we off
God,
microphones?
Yeah, let's go and get some replays here, everyone. Let's go and get some replays of that launch. Aiden is currently bringing up replays. Just give us 1 second. Wait, is this spinning? Oh God. Is this spinning? No?
Old.
It's not. Nope, it's not. It's not. Okay, here's some replays, everyone. Let's see these replays. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that replay. Then that's the deluge, I believe. Yep, there it is. Look at that. And then ignition. Boom. Now? Boom. There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
What a shot.
And it just got obliterated. Our camera just got obliterated. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh my God. And then this is the other one. The ring. Oh my God. Oh my God. Could we get a replay of the pad one? The one, the closest one to pad, please? Okay, we're gonna get some more replays here, everyone. Don't worry. We cooked here. This is probably our best stream yet. And I said thank you so much to the entire team at TSDG Starbase for giving us these beautiful views like this one here. We're going to see this replay. Just watch. It's beautiful. Takes a second. Just look at that. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. That had to have been the coolest replay. Anyways, come here on re-entry here of Starship. I don't know, when does that start again? Also, the gateway to Mars sign broke. it got obliterated. Like, look, I sent a photo. Look. Oh God, that tells you how powerful Starship is. Well, what are our predictions for when do you guys think they're gonna launch? If the ship makes it to splashdown, I would think of launch probably July, mid-July at earliest. Booster 20 is already almost done. They just need to fix issues on the booster and then fix a little issue on the ship. But to be honest, a mid to late July launch, I could see that. Starship. If the ship makes it to splashdown today, then I would see. If it makes it at least to the belly flop, I think a launch mid to late July is possible, possibly early August. But to be honest, mid to late July is entirely possible with right now. Hey, what did we think of that launch? That was been the most hype thing I've ever watched in my entire freaking life. Oh yes, at least Hoppy survived. Yes, Hoppy did survive, which I am purely shocked. Look at the camera. Oh God. Oh God. Rest in peace, Gateway to Mars sign. Yo, could you tell them to take a pic? Do you think you could tell the people to take a picture then send that to me? I need to show that to people. Like, oh my God. Rest in peace, Gateway to Mars sign. Rest in peace. Oh my God! Look! Oh,
wow!
My God! Oh my God! Look at that! Oh my God! That's a V3 freaking ship! I can't wait, because you know, this may be a little lower quality, so it may take its time to process. So expect later today or tomorrow. Oh my God.
All right, so
that is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Looks like our cameras did work.
That is a Starship
both of
from
those satellites.
Space.
We're gonna roll that back again.
This is the first time we're getting.
Again,
oh my
this
God.
is
oh
a view
my God.
from
the SpaceX stream is
one of
almost
those
at a
satellites.
million
As we deployed,
views.
it looks like this was from the last one out.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Flashlight
surprised.
turning on, taking a look at Starship in space. The way this system is set up is the satellites are essentially recording it
Aiden,
and making
could you fix
contact
Nightbot
with
here?
our
They
Starlink
timed out
constellation
someone.
and then transferring
They
that
timed out
video
someone on
back down to
accident.
us on the ground.
It's fine.
That's a Starship in space.
Sorry that you got timed out. Nightbot's just being.
So aside from just being really cool, this was our test to try and develop a free flyer that we could fire outside of Starship's payload bay, look back at it, and then do essentially a pirouette with Starship to get a look at the heat shield, where it's going to be really important when we start bringing these things back for a catch, which we are hopefully doing in the not too distant future, as they are intended to be fully reusable. But this will give us an opportunity to look at the heat shield while Starship is still in space. So there was a glimpse. We'll see if we get any more video down from those satellites. But I mean, that's one we've been chasing for a while. So all right, coming up on 40 minutes into the flight, and we should start hitting the re-entry period in the next 7 minutes or so. You'll start to see a light show building up. As we had talked about, we did skip that on-orbit relight of the Raptor engine. It was not needed for our trajectory or anything. We are on this suborbital trajectory to splash down in the Indian Ocean. We are going to attempt a landing burn. We'll see how they perform when we get there. And just a reminder, we are going to be stressing the ship on the way in. We're going to intentionally do a maneuver where we're going to kind of pitch the nose up and deploy those bottom flaps to really put a lot of pressure on them. So we'll see how it does through that maneuver, and then we'll be doing kind of a final banking turn before we get to a landing burn. So all that coming up in a few minutes. The light show should start beginning real soon.
Well.
Here shortly. A lot of energy on this Twitch stream.
Anyways, I got some good news here. I'm going to start making a recap of today's flight. Because I wasted a little time, it will be after stream. So if you guys want to see my edit of today's flight test, you can follow me, @Astro_. You can find it there. I don't know self-promotion.
We have another big thing. We have a big thing. We have a replay of the launch with sound.
Water deluge.
Yeah.
Water's coming out. Yep.
We have a replay.
Engine ignition. Here it goes. We have
what a shot
off.
that is.
Starship 12, booster 19, Starship 39. Sound should be hitting us shortly.
And on the SpaceX stream, I'm pretty sure we have some plasma building up there.
Oh my god, yeah, it's doing good. Oh my god. And don't worry, I recorded myself. Yo, Eden, repost this. Oh, wait, uh-oh. What, is the ship okay? I'm checking up here. How's the ship doing? Is it actually, is it making it? Yeah, there's a million views on the SpaceX stream, by the way. Right, so I'm gonna get to work on my edit. What, I'm deciding what music. I think I'm gonna use the last flight's music, I just can't speak anymore. Like, I just can't. I don't know why my speech is just horrible right now. I think since I'm just speechless. Huh?
Welcome back to Starship Flight 12, the first test flight of Starship version 3. As Dan mentioned earlier, we were able to make contact with the modified satellites just shortly after deployment. And as you may have seen, we got some sweet views of those sats looking back at the ship. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah, those views were incredible.
Oh god,
Now,
the
as you see on
ship.
your screen,
I don't know if that's
currently,
normal.
The ship is re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. This is the plasma starting to build up on the exterior of the vehicle. Now, we do not plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's right. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship's systems perform. Re-entry is an extremely demanding portion of flight where we essentially have to scrub all of the energy we use to launch the rocket back off in reverse. So the 18 million pounds of thrust that we had off 33 of those Raptor engines.
Just a little.
Just a little. We're now, and then another, several minute burn on the ship. We're now basically undoing all that energy here.
Oh god, I need to
via
find the
aerodynamic
absolutism
braking,
music.
essentially. And of course, Starlink is a big part of
Where the
it,
heck
as
is it?
that's what allows us to actually gather this data and show these live views.
Oh, what the
And
heck?
again, the data gathering is really the main reason why we're doing these flight tests. So Starlink provides us just one more path to collect that data that ultimately allows us to rapidly iterate Starship's design.
Now, if ship manages to make it all the way
Oh
through
god.
re-entry,
Oh god, what's going
we'll
on?
collect
Is
valuable
it
data
surviving?
on the spacecraft
What's going
flying
on?
through the Earth's atmosphere at these hypersonic speeds.
I have no idea.
Which is basically more than 5
everything,
times the speed
the attitude,
of sound.
the
Now, we
attitude
do
depicts the role as
anticipate that it
nominal.
might be a little bit of a spicy re-entry, so
Yeah, it
we'll see
looks
how
good to
far we
me.
get. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight
just
where
lost
we
the
don't have communications with the
absolutism
spacecraft
music,
because
dang
it's
it.
re-entering at or around orbital velocity, roughly 8
Oh
kilometers
god,
per
I
second.
can't find it.
Or for those of us that think
That's why I
in
gotta
other units,
record it.
roughly 5 miles per second. At those speeds, the spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere, and it creates that plasma field that we saw forming around the vehicle.
Yeah, and although the plasma looks really cool, it does distort some communication frequencies. So it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication. Of course, thinking long-term here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. That's why we're going with the propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes. Propulsive landing, not only, again, is it more cool, but it enables a more rapidly reusable rocket.
Yeah. Now we should hear some call-outs as the ship makes its way back to Earth. When we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads that it will experience as it returns. So if we make it through those, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. And you can see in the bottom left right now, we're at 23,500 kilometers per hour speed. That's just a crazy number to think about. But as we keep progressing in the mission, we are going to hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. So transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, kind of in that Mach 0.8 to 1.2 range. And for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but mostly fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85. And after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out when Starship is subsonic. This refers to speeds that are much less than the speed of sound, so at this point in the flight, ship's velocity will be slowing down.
We definitely have a crowd still here in the lobby of SpaceX headquarters down here at Starbase, Texas. Everyone is, loves watching ship re-entry. It's always such amazing colors. This must be what it feels like to be one of those praying mantis shrimp. I can't remember exactly what the name is, but the ones that see and billions of colors. This is the closest I feel to being one of those.
Yep. I think one other thing that's cool to point out right now is look in the bottom right, you can see where we are on a globe there. We're squarely in the Indian Ocean already, and we've only been flying for 53 minutes. Yeah. So pretty crazy. We went all the way from Texas to the Indian Ocean in less than an hour.
Yeah. She flies pretty fast.
She flies very fast.
All right, so the light show continuing. We are through the period of peak heating, and we'll be looking at the peak pressure coming up in the next couple of minutes. The next 10 minutes are probably going to be the spiciest of entry today. As a reminder, we are going to be doing some stress work on the ship, where we're going to do a maneuver where we kind of kick the nose up to fully deploy those aft flaps to really get a good test of the structural strength of that part of the ship. We did that on one previous flight test on version 2. We're going to try and do that today. Since we did skip the in-space burn, we're carrying a little bit of extra propellant in our header tanks up in the nose, and so that's going to put a little bit of extra stress on those forward flaps as we come in. So we will see if they're able to hold through that re-entry. So that will be another watch item. We did skip that in-space burn, but we are expecting at least 2 of those sea-level engines to try and ignite for a landing burn. We entered the entry period in a good attitude, so hopefully making our way to the targeted splashdown point. We've got that Starship recovery team standing by, and we should be about 10 minutes away from splashdown. So a lot of excitement over the next couple of minutes. Kate and Jake, let's see how Starship holds up on the way in.
Yeah, and we just heard on the nets there that engine chill has started. So essentially what that means is we are prepping the landing engines by getting them down to temperature ahead of that landing burn later in the mission here.
And on a lot of our previous flight tests, we've been removing a bunch of the tiles If you've watched those, we were really intentionally trying to push ship beyond its limits. On the last flight, we even had basically a hole get punched into the liquid oxygen tank that you could see when we did the landing burn into the ocean, and the ship was still able to make it. But right now, we're really going to be testing the structural strength of these flaps on the way in. Again, this is a flight test. We're trying to intentionally find where our limits are. And in this view, you're looking at a whole bunch of tiles. I think Jake talked about it earlier. We bonded some additional tiles to the leeward, or kind of the metal side of Starship, to see how those different bonding techniques would hold up. And looking like we've got quite a bit still attached.
Yeah, and as we're going down through the atmosphere here, we are at about Mach 16.1. So still extremely fast, although we have, scrubbed off a substantial amount of our speed already. Altitude at a little less than 60 kilometers.
All right, we're about 8 minutes away from our targeted landing and splashdown time. Again, this is when the ship's going to start really
Ship
getting
is
put
approaching
through
the
ringer.
end of the peak heating region.
Just heard the call out, getting to the end of the peak heating. So the highest temperature the Starship's going to see during its re-entry.
This camera angle changes as it is attached to the forward flap on Starship. So we're actually experiencing the articulation of that hardware, helping to steer the ship down for its precise landing in the Indian Ocean.
Yep, that is just a really cool, kind of cool piece of perspective there. I know some people say it makes them a little seasick, but I definitely love it. It makes it feel like you're really riding along with the ship on the way down.
Yeah, and aside from just looking cool, all these camera views providing just really critical data on how the heat shield, how the flaps themselves are holding up. That's why we've got these in the flaps and then all scattered all around the ship so you can see how they hold up. There's some internal to the vehicle too and we're getting all this video back via Starlink. Even as we're just enshrouded in plasma, we're able to kind of operate at a high enough frequency to punch through, and that is blue ocean and sunlight you're seeing just beyond the flap. So we are coming down into daylight, hopefully splashing down in the next 6 minutes or so in the Indian Ocean. We've still got a couple maneuvers lined up where we're going to be really stressing the flaps on the ship. So
Ship has passed through the peak heating region. External temperatures are coming down.
Wow, that is incredible news. As Dan mentioned, we were expecting this reentry to be super spicy, but excellent news that we're now past that period of peak heating and that now the external temperatures are starting to decrease. Those heat shield tiles there on the belly of the ship really doing a ton of work to burn off all of that inertia that the vehicle had prior to re-entering the atmosphere.
Yeah, and you can tell by the G meter down on the bottom right that we're starting to pick up a couple more Gs here, so we're definitely entering the thicker part of the atmosphere where we're scrubbing off all that energy, like Kate's saying.
all right, just about 5 minutes or so to go. We're coming up shortly on the maneuver where it's affectionately called the flap slap, where we're going to kind of pitch the nose up on the ship, and you're going to see those aft flaps, the ones in the very bottom, fully deploy.
Ship is at peak dynamic pressure.
And we're now at peak pressure.
Ship flap load test has started.
Looks like it's holding. Again, the intent of that was to put just a lot of extra stress on those aft flaps. We are expecting the forward ones too to see a little bit of extra stress as we've got a little more propellant in our header tank, so the area right at the very nose of
Ship
Starship
flap load test is complete.
And we're through that test.
There we go. And we just did that test at Mach 7, just for reference there. So we are still going incredibly fast.
All right, we are just about 3.5 minutes or so away from our targeted landing burn. Again, we're expecting to try and see 2 of these Raptor engines light for the landing burn. Nominally, we plan for 3, but we're going to give it a try with 2. Hopefully we've got
Ship is starting the RTLS banking maneuver.
And that right there, so we're starting a banking maneuver, and essentially what that is when we come back to Starbase, or when we plan to come back to Starbase, the trajectory is designed so we'll essentially swing out over the Gulf and do a swoop maneuver to then come back to the towers for catch. And so
those of you
we are doing that exact same maneuver as we head towards our targeted splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Ship 39.
Yeah, and that call out there that we heard,
Coming up at 3 minutes,
RTLS
8
stands
seconds
for Return
will be,
to Launch Site. So definitely
will be the Ship 39 being subsonic.
As in the future, we are
Because just happens.
Bring the ship back to the launch site, which is going to be absolutely insane.
Absolutely. But of course, we want to test out these maneuvers, these principles prior to actually bringing the hardware back to the pad. This is
or
the same
return
reason
to launch site roll maneuver, where they're testing the capabilities of turning the starships to make a pinpoint landing wherever they'd want.
I'm back.
And really proving what a test flight is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Pressure is coming down.
Ready?
All right, we heard there.
Coming up at 1 hour, 5 minutes and 6 seconds.
I'd say we're in a pretty good bank right now.
Followed 3 seconds
executing
after,
the power slide.
2 seconds after.
We're about 90 seconds
flip
away
maneuver.
from our anticipated landing burn. Clouds coming up, pretty sunrise
Come
on the other
on,
side of the planet.
baby.
Starship is subsonic and is on target.
Oh my
The
God,
crowd here
sunrise
reacting
landing, that's
to
awesome.
that call out, letting us know that we are on target for this precise landing in the Indian Ocean. This will once again be a soft splashdown. We should get some pretty cool views from the recovery team who we chatted with earlier.
4
They are
minutes and
standing by to
43
receive
seconds.
this ship. Once again, this is the first flight of our completely redesigned Starship version 3.
Yeah, and if you remember the suborbital flights from a few years ago, this is very much the same regime that we're in here. So we're sub 15 kilometers, executing what we call the belly flip maneuver.
Yes, serial number 8, the first belly flop. I remember it well. Just some really amazing views of the Earth as the ship is coming back home. Thanks, Starlink.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
oh my
you can
God.
see the aft flap there making minor corrections.
Starship is turning for final approach to landing site.
Look at that turn.
There we go. Minor corrections and a full turn.
Once again, this turn is the certified Starship.
Yeah, Starship doesn't fly like an airplane. It's a lot more like a skydiver.
pinpoint landing
full belly
wherever
flop
you
on
want.
the way down, using those
This is our
flaps similar
pad
to
2
arms
thing.
to help
Come on, baby.
change
Now come and relight
the
those after
path of
3
the
engines.
air
Let's see
over
how many
you.
we get. I think
Coming
we're gonna
up
get
real
2.
soon.
Land burn,
Again,
confirmation.
going for landing burn,
2
trying to light
engines.
2
Oh
of these
my
Raptor sea level
God!
engines.
Ah! Yes!
Passing
Landing burn
Come
startup.
on, ship 39!
landing burn startup.
We have
2 engines lit.
what a view!
Congrats! Hey,
Successful
Jack!
flip.
Ship 39! Welcome back to planet Earth!
We have
Buoy cam
Starship is
detriment.
Ship 39.
Good shutdown.
Ship this concludes.
Congratulations!
There it goes. And that concludes. That concludes the first test flight. Wow. What a
That
flight.
ball of fire is exactly what we wanted to see for the ship today. As weird as it may sound to hear, but it is the truth.
Absolutely wild.
USA!
You know, at the beginning of the show,
USA!
we guaranteed excitement at the beginning of the show, and I'd say Starship delivered.
Absolutely. An incredible day for Starship. That was the first flight of that completely redesigned vehicle. As you can tell, the teams are incredibly proud of what we just saw.
Yeah, V3 definitely showed up. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've pretty happy crowd in the control room behind me, I will say. It's probably the most excited I've seen a lot of people in a really long time. On target landing. Wow. Actually, let's jump over. Hey, Tyler, how's everyone holding up in Hawthorne?
We're having a great time, Dan. Thank you so much. That was another exciting Starship flight in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those awesome
It
Starlink
splashed
views.
down on
So
target.
congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you guys for tuning in, and back to you, Dan.
All
Once the
right.
stream ends.
Way uphill, and then the booster didn't complete its full boost back. Its mission ended a little bit early, but landed in the clear area that we had set in advance. Once we were on orbit with ship, we were able to get through our payload deployment. 22 satellites, the 20 simulators, the 2 Dodger dogs, which successfully turned on cameras. We'll see if we got any more views from those. So obviously stick around. Skipped the Raptor relight, but made it through re-entry, on target landing in the Indian Ocean. You saw those views. Starship made it. It's been a long time coming. We're really excited to see this vehicle fly, and there are several more on the way. So that's going to do it for me up here. Send it back down to Kate and Jake and everybody who I hope is at least a little bit excited down in Star Factory.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely insane down here. We would, of course, want to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents here at Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the government of Mexico, and of course, the Australian Space Agency.
Yeah, so honestly, just huge congratulations to all our teammates here at SpaceX and everyone who's supported the Starship mission just in general here. It's been a massive effort, really incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that worked really hard to make things look easy, so shout out to those teams. Now be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and more exciting views that we didn't get to show you on today's live program. I have a feeling we'll see some pretty amazing stuff come from those demonstration satellites that we were able to show some initial footage of. Now, if you're interested in more launch coverage, head on over to our profile on X. We also have SpaceX.com/launches for you to check out for the most up-to-date information. So thanks to all of you for tuning in. We're going to close it out and celebrate with our colleagues. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great night. We'll see you next time.
We are back with those cams from the Dodger Dogs.
Hello. Oh, sorry. We want to thank everyone for joining us for today. For today's webcast. I'm just in pure shock right now. I'm just in pure shock. That has been the coolest thing ever. So I'd like to thank the entire TSDG Starbase team for giving us these live views. I'd like to thank Aiden for giving to my coach. I'd like to thank you for joining us for today's TSDG broadcast for Flight 12. We'll hope to see you back for Flight 13, and good night.